Hello YouTubers, it's time for another how-to video. This one will affect, I don't know, maybe 10 people in the world. If you have a 1975 or 1976 full-sized sedan DeVille, Fleetwood Brougham, Coupe DeVille, Calais, anything like that, they have these little rubber strips that fit underneath the headlamps and above the bumper. And they're designed to flex if the bumper goes in. And they mostly are relatively in good shape, but now what's beginning to happen after years is that they're starting to crack. On this side, I came upon this, which was the broken piece of this that came right out of here. Now, a lot of people would just say, okay, forget it. I'm just going to leave it blank. Who's ever going to notice? From this far away, you can't see it. I'll notice. And these, unlike the rear fender filler panels, are not made by anybody. Nobody is making these. Nobody's doing this at all. So I'm going to show you how to do it using a piece of plastic landscape trim. We'll do it in the basement. We'll do it in about 10 minutes, and we'll get it fixed and replace these and make them look like brand new. Well, now that we've extracted this lovely broken part from our 75 sedan DeVille, you can see that it's this rubber material. It's got the holes where it mounts. It's got a little bit of a bevel to it. And of course it's cracked right here where it goes around the corner under the turn signal light. And we're going to replace this. Now what are we going to use? Well, this is a piece of edging that you would use underneath landscaping pavers. You put the paver here, we come up to about there. This little edging would keep the grass from getting into the pavers. And it's exactly the same size as this piece, and we're going to be able to use that. Now, where do you get these? This one is made by Brick Edge 2 in beautiful Villa Park, Illinois, but you can get them at your home improvement centers, Lowe's, Menards, and places like that. So we start by laying our piece on top of this lawn edge molding, and we take a marker and we make a mark along the sides wherever the cut piece is. And over here you have to kind of estimate a little bit because you know you've got this piece that goes around, so we've made the mark just a little bit longer to get us the edge that we need. So you'll see on here we have our marks that we're going to cut out and the marks that we're going to cut out here, and then we're going to cut this other edge off with the Dremel tool, and that will give us our pattern that we need. Okay, and we're going to start with cutting this thing off so that we deal with a smaller spot. Okay, so now we're going to want to make a little bit of a finer cut. So we've got our wheel, and we're going to just cut right through. Very end. Make sure we're not cutting our desk. So aside from that delicious smell of burning plastic, this actually works pretty well. Now, because you know you're going to need another one of these for the other side, you may as well go ahead and make your pattern now, only do it on the opposite hand. So where you had this before, where this was the upside and this was the downside, let's do it over here and trace it using your marker so that you can cut the exact same one again. Now this has a little bit of a bend to it. So we've got to put that arc in there. And this is made of rubber, albeit deteriorated, and it flexes pretty easily. This is ABS plastic, and it does not flex easily. But we're going to make it flex easily using our handy dandy heat gun. So we're going to heat this, get it nice and pliable, and then we're going to bend it using our hands and these pieces of dowel rod. And you want to work kind of quickly with this because it's going to harden up pretty darn fast. You get your little bend in there, hold it down with the other stick. And you can already feel it starting to harden up a little bit. So you want it to get nice and bent in the direction that you're wanting it to bend. Use your sticks so you're not burning your hands. Get it to hold in there with just that slight amount of bend. You can actually overbend it a little bit because it will harden up, and when it does, the bend will come out of it a little bit. So that's a pretty good bend. Pretty much mimics what we already have in there. And you can straighten it out a little bit. Part of it's going to be hot, especially on the ends. So don't mind that too much. All right. Now we've got that where we want to have it. And that pretty much mimics the bend of what we have on the original one. Okay, up next, we've got to do this corner bend. And this corner bend, you need just a small amount of it bent. You can see where the edge is here, right there. So your bend is right about here. So you just need about that much of it bent. And you can use almost anything to do that. A bench vise is great. I don't happen to have one here in this workbench. I've got one in the other one, and I'm not taking the walk. So I'm going to use this little corner of the shelf unit that I have, and that'll make it bend really nice. You just heat it and bend it. You're going to want to overbend it a little bit. Just overbend it a little, because when it starts to harden and cool, that bend is going to come out of it a little bit. And it's still pliable enough to where you can do things with it a little bit and get it right in the position that you wanted it in. Now it's starting to harden up. If you don't do it right the first time, you can always go back and do it again. It's not that big of a deal. And this actually gives it the little outie that you wanted on the other side. So this is your perfect piece. Now it's just a matter of drilling holes in it and mounting it on the car. So we've got to drill holes in it so we can mount it on the car. So we take the original piece and we lay it on top of the new piece. We get it all lined up to where it's perfectly aligned to where it's supposed to be. And we use our marker and we put a mark in each one of the holes, and then we drill a hole in it, and then it's ready to go on the car. So now we've got our piece, and it looks really nice, and it's exactly the same size as the one that's in there. This is going to have the holes drilled in it, so you won't see that part of it, and it'll fit right in there. You do it from underneath. It's got some long studs with some little nuts on it that you remove. There's 4 of them. You drop it out from underneath. You don't have to take anything else apart, and put the new one in. So you've gone from this broken, nasty one to this brand new one that is so shiny and clean that you can barely see it, as opposed to the one over here, which we haven't replaced yet, but we'll get on it. And as soon as you get a few bugs on it, or maybe a little wax from the bumper, it'll look just like it's been there forever. So you fix this thing in about 15 minutes at a cost of next to nothing, using a piece of landscape material. If you were helped by this and you like it, please like the video. If you want to, subscribe, and we'll have more of these as time goes on. We're the West of the Lake Cadillac and LaSalle Club, and we're here to help. If there's something we can do to help you, please let us know. Reach out by email, westofthelakeclc@gmail.com. Thanks for watching.